You are intelligent, yet ignored, capable, yet underestimated, honest, yet constantly exploited. Why intelligence without strategy makes you weak, and how ruthless intelligence makes you untouchable. You were taught that intelligence is gentle, that a sharp mind should be polite, accommodating, and fair. You were taught that being smart means being reasonable, honest, and open. This belief feels noble, but it is also the reason intelligent people are ignored, overridden, and quietly used. Intelligence, in its raw and effective form, has never been kind. It has always been strategic. Look closely at history. The minds that shaped empires were not remembered for their softness. They were remembered for their precision. Machiavelli did not advise princes to be cruel for pleasure, but he understood something most people refuse to accept. Kindness without power is weakness, and weakness invites destruction. Intelligence that prioritizes kindness over survival becomes a liability. Most people confuse kindness with virtue. In reality, kindness is a social lubricant, not a shield. When you lead with kindness alone, you announce that you value harmony more than leverage. The world listens carefully to that signal. Those who seek advantage recognize it immediately. They learn that you can be pressured, guilted, delayed, and persuaded into sacrificing your own position for the comfort of others. True intelligence studies incentives, not emotions. It understands that people respond not to goodness, but to consequences. A dangerously intelligent mind does not ask, "Is this kind?" It asks, "What does this produce?" Because outcomes, not intentions, define power. You may notice how often intelligent, kind people are interrupted, how their ideas are taken and repeated by louder voices, how they hesitate before speaking, measuring their words so they do not offend. That hesitation is not wisdom. It is fear disguised as morality. While they calculate how to remain likable, others calculate how to advance. Kindness becomes dangerous when it is automatic. When you give explanations you do not owe. When you soften truths that must be sharp. When you apologize for taking space, time, or authority. Intelligence does not apologize for existing. It chooses when to reveal itself and when to withhold. Machiavellian intelligence understands that restraint is not gentleness. Restraint is control. You do not react because reacting hands your power to whoever provoked you. You do not rush to help because help creates expectations. You do not rescue people from consequences they chose because doing so trains them to repeat the behavior. This is where many struggle. They fear becoming cold. They fear being judged as selfish or cruel. But ruthless intelligence is not cruelty. It is clarity. It sees the world as it is, not as it wishes it to be. It accepts that people respect boundaries more than generosity and fear loss more than they appreciate gifts. Kindness, given without calculation, erodes authority. When everything is given freely, nothing is valued. The dangerously intelligent person understands scarcity. They understand that attention, trust, and access must be earned. Not everyone deserves your full effort, your full honesty, or your full compassion. This does not mean you abandon ethics. It means you stop allowing ethics to be weaponized against you. Some will exploit your patience, others will exploit your empathy. They will label you difficult the moment you stop accommodating them. This is not a sign you are wrong. It is a sign the dynamic has changed. Notice how power shifts the moment you say less, the moment you stop explaining yourself, the moment you let silence do the work. People begin to fill the gap with their own assumptions. Often, those assumptions work in your favor. Mystery creates authority. Predictability invites manipulation. Machiavelli understood that appearing kind is often more useful than being kind. Appearance is a tool. Reality is a weapon. The intelligent person separates the two. They smile when it serves them. They withhold when it protects them. They give when it builds leverage, not when it drains it. If you are always kind, you are easy to read, easy to push, easy to use. Dangerous intelligence is unreadable. It adapts. It hardens when necessary and softens when beneficial. It does not cling to one identity because survival requires flexibility. The world does not reward the pure-hearted. It rewards the perceptive. Those who understand that intelligence is not measured by how good you are, but by how well you navigate human nature. And human nature is not kind. You live in a world that celebrates noise. The one who speaks the fastest is called confident. The one who speaks the loudest is called a leader. The one who speaks the most is assumed to know the most. This illusion is convenient for those who benefit from attention, but it is fatal for those who seek real power. Machiavellian intelligence knows a truth that modern culture refuses to admit. Power does not belong to the speaker, it belongs to the observer. The moment you speak, you reveal yourself. Your priorities leak through your words. Your fears surface in your tone. Your desires expose themselves in your timing. Speech is information, and information is currency. Every unnecessary word you release is a payment you did not need to make. The dangerously intelligent mind understands that silence is not emptiness, it is accumulation. Observation sharpens judgment. While others are busy performing, explaining, justifying, and proving, the observer is studying patterns. Who interrupts whom? Who avoids eye contact when challenged? Who grows nervous when silence stretches too long? These details are invisible to those who are busy talking. They are invaluable to those who are watching. Machiavelli warned that men are quicker to speak than to think, and in that haste they betray themselves. People reveal their ambitions casually. They confess their insecurities indirectly. They expose their limits without realizing it. The observer does not rush to respond, because response ends observation. The moment you react, you stop learning. Silence unsettles people. It forces them to fill the space, and when they do, they often overshare. They explain more than necessary. They justify actions no one questioned. They reveal intentions they meant to hide. This is not manipulation. This is human nature responding to discomfort. The dangerously intelligent person allows this discomfort to work for them. Those who speak constantly believe they are controlling the room. In reality, they are anchoring themselves to positions that can be challenged. Every opinion spoken can be opposed. Every promise stated can be measured. Every emotion displayed can be exploited. The observer avoids this trap by remaining fluid, undefined, and difficult to pin down. There is a reason the most powerful figures in any room are often the quietest. They do not need to announce their importance. They allow others to do the talking, because talk reveals hierarchy. Those seeking approval speak upward. Those seeking control listen downward. Power listens because it already has the advantage. Many intelligent people speak too early. They interrupt their own leverage by revealing solutions before understanding the full problem. They offer advice before knowing who benefits from it. They share insights before measuring who is capable of using them against them. This is intelligence without discipline, and it costs more than it earns. Observation creates timing, and timing is everything. A statement delivered too early is ignored. A truth revealed too late is useless. The observer waits until the moment when words carry maximum weight, when silence has created anticipation, when the room is ready to receive, not resist. Machiavellian intelligence treats speech as a weapon, not a habit. You do not swing a weapon constantly. You wait until it cannot be dodged. Every word spoken should either protect your position or improve it. If it does neither, it is unnecessary risk. There is also another danger in constant speaking: emotional exposure. When people talk freely, they reveal what excites them and what angers them. They disclose what they care about most. Once exposed, these emotional centers become leverage points for others. The observer protects their inner world by keeping it inaccessible. Silence creates projection. When people do not know what you think, they assume. Often they assume competence. Often they assume authority. Ambiguity allows others to assign you value greater than what you claim. Loud self-promotion does the opposite. It shrinks you to the size of your words. This does not mean you never speak. It means when you do, your words land with precision. They feel measured, deliberate, and unavoidable. People remember them because they are rare. They carry weight because they are not diluted by constant noise. In Machiavelli's world, survival depended on knowing more than you revealed. That rule has not changed. Those who observe control information. Those who control information shape outcomes. And those who shape outcomes never need to explain themselves. You were raised to believe that truth is absolute. That if you are honest, consistent, and correct, reality will eventually reward you. This belief is comforting, but it is dangerously naive. In the real world, Perception moves faster than truth, spreads wider than facts, and shapes decisions long before reality has a chance to speak. Machiavellian intelligence understands that people do not respond to what is true. They respond to what they believe. History is not written by the most accurate minds, but by the most convincing ones. Kings ruled not because they were morally right, but because they appeared inevitable. Authority was not maintained through justice alone, but through symbols, rituals, and carefully crafted images. Machiavelli saw this clearly. He understood that appearance is not deception, it is strategy. Most people do not investigate deeply. They judge quickly, emotionally, and with limited information. Their minds seek shortcuts. They rely on impressions, tone, confidence, and social proof. A dangerously intelligent person does not fight this reality. They use it. They shape the surface so the depth is never questioned. Truth requires effort to understand. Perception requires only exposure. That is why a repeated idea feels more real than a proven one. That is why confidence often outweighs competence. That is why those who control the narrative control the outcome. The intelligent mind does not waste energy demanding fairness from human psychology. It adapts to it. You can be right and still be powerless. You can be ethical and still be ignored. You can be intelligent and still be underestimated. Perception determines whether your voice is heard, whether your ideas are respected, and whether your presence commands space. If people perceive you as uncertain, your certainty will be doubted. If they perceive you as weak, your strength will be challenged. Machiavellian intelligence understands that perception is built long before confrontation. It is built through consistency, restraint, and selective exposure. What you reveal repeatedly becomes your identity in the minds of others. What you hide becomes assumed strength. Mystery creates depth where explanation creates familiarity. People trust what feels stable. They follow what feels inevitable. They resist what feels chaotic. By controlling your reactions, your visibility, and your emotional displays, you influence how others interpret you. Calm is perceived as control. Silence is perceived as confidence. Detachment is perceived as power. Those who overshare damage their own perception. When you explain every decision, you invite judgment. When you justify yourself, you signal vulnerability. When you defend too strongly, you imply doubt. The dangerously intelligent person understands that perception thrives on what is left unsaid. There is also a darker truth. Perception can survive even when truth collapses. A reputation, once established, filters every future action. If people perceive you as capable, your mistakes are forgiven. If they perceive you as weak, your successes are questioned. This is not fair, but it is real. Machiavelli advised rulers to appear merciful, faithful, humane, and religious, while remaining capable of the opposite when necessary. Not because hypocrisy is noble, but because survival demands flexibility. People are comforted by appearances. They are threatened by raw truth. This applies far beyond politics. In workplaces, relationships, and social hierarchies, perception determines leverage. Who is seen as competent? Who is seen as replaceable? Who is seen as dangerous to cross? These perceptions shape behavior before logic enters the room. A dangerously intelligent person curates perception deliberately. They do not rush to correct every misunderstanding. Some misunderstandings work in their favor. They do not reveal their full capability immediately. Surprise is more powerful than proof. They allow others to underestimate them, because underestimation lowers defenses. Perception also governs fear. People fear what they cannot predict. They fear what appears controlled and emotionally distant. When your reactions are consistent and measured, people assume you are always one step ahead. Whether or not that is true becomes irrelevant. Truth can be slow. Perception is immediate. In moments of crisis, people do not analyze facts. They follow whoever appears composed and decisive. The observer who controls their image in calm times commands authority in chaos. Machiavellian intelligence does not reject truth. It simply refuses to worship it blindly. It understands that truth without influence is fragile. Perception gives truth armor. Without it, truth remains exposed. Those who master perception do not need to argue. They do not need to convince aggressively. Their presence speaks before their words do. Their reputation walks into the room ahead of them. And once perception is established, reality bends to follow it. Most people believe control is something you take from others. They imagine dominance as force, authority, or persuasion. They chase influence by trying to manage reactions, shape opinions, and command obedience. Machiavellian intelligence begins in a different place. It begins with the understanding that no one truly controls anything until they have mastered themselves. The greatest weakness a person can display is emotional predictability. When others can anticipate your anger, your excitement, or your fear, they can steer you without touching you. They press the right button, and you react. In that moment, you are no longer acting with intelligence. You are acting on impulse, and impulse is always exploitable. Machiavelli understood that rulers lost power not because they lacked strength, but because they lacked restraint. A single uncontrolled reaction could ignite rebellion. A moment of visible fear could invite attack. The same law applies today. The person who remains composed when others panic instantly becomes the axis around which decisions rotate. Self-control creates psychological gravity. People look to the calm individual for cues. In uncertainty, humans instinctively follow whoever appears least affected by chaos. This is not charisma, it is biology. The nervous system searches for stability, and it finds it in those who regulate themselves. Most conflicts escalate not because of opposing interests, but because of wounded egos. Someone feels disrespected, someone feels threatened, someone reacts emotionally, and the situation spirals. The dangerously intelligent person steps outside this cycle. They observe their own emotions as signals, not commands. Anger becomes information. Fear becomes data. Desire becomes a warning. When you control yourself, you control timing. You choose when to speak, when to move, when to remain silent. Timing frustrates manipulators because it denies them immediate reaction. They rely on speed. They rely on emotional leakage. Self-control starves them of both. There is immense power in delayed response. Silence after provocation creates imbalance. Others grow uncertain. They wonder what you are thinking. They fill the void with their own anxiety. This anxiety weakens their position while yours remains intact. Machiavellian intelligence also understands that self-control builds credibility. People trust those who do not overreact. They respect those who do not chase validation. They defer to those who do not need to dominate conversations to feel significant. Authority emerges not from assertion, but from consistency. Those who lack self-control often confuse intensity with strength. They raise their voices to appear powerful. They rush decisions to appear decisive. They expose emotions to appear authentic. In reality, these behaviors reveal instability, and instability erodes influence. The disciplined mind moves slower than emotion but faster than chaos. It does not need to win every exchange. It does not need to correct every insult. It understands that not every battle deserves attention. Selectivity is strength. Control over self also means control over desire. Many intelligent people sabotage themselves by chasing approval, recognition, or immediate reward. They reveal too much too soon. They compromise principles for short-term comfort. Machiavellian intelligence delays gratification because it sees beyond the moment. When you are not driven by the need to be liked, you gain freedom. When you are not driven by fear of rejection, you gain leverage. When your actions are not dictated by emotional hunger, others begin to orbit your stability. Leadership, whether acknowledged or not, emerges from this center. People mirror the emotional state of those they perceive as dominant. Calm spreads, panic spreads, confidence spreads. Control yourself, and you shape the emotional climate around you. This is why the most influential individuals often appear detached, not because they lack feeling, but because they refuse to let feeling dictate behavior. They experience emotion internally while projecting composure externally. This separation is not suppression, it is mastery. Machiavelli warned that fortune favors those who can bend with circumstances without breaking. Emotional rigidity is breaking. Self-control is flexibility. It allows you to adjust without revealing strain, to endure pressure without signaling weakness. Those who cannot control themselves seek to control others. Those who can control themselves rarely need to. Their presence sets the tone. Their reactions define the limits. Their silence draws attention. When you master your internal world, the external world responds. Not through force, but through alignment. Others sense the stability. They trust it. They follow it. You have now seen the world as Machiavelli saw it, not through the comfort of ideals, but through the cold clarity of human nature. These laws were never meant to make you virtuous in the eyes of others. They were meant to make you effective in a world that does not reward innocence. Intelligence without strategy becomes self-sacrifice. Awareness without restraint becomes exposure. Truth without perception becomes silence. Dangerous intelligence is not loud. It does not announce itself. It watches, calculates, and waits. It understands that kindness must be chosen, not given blindly. That silence gathers power. That perception shapes reality. That self-mastery is the foundation of all influence. If these ideas disturb you, it is because they challenge comforting illusions. But power has never belonged to the comfortable. It belongs to those who understand the game without becoming enslaved by it. You do not need to dominate others to rise above them. You need to see clearly where others remain blind. Remember this, the world is not ruled by the smartest, but by those who think ahead, act deliberately, and reveal nothing without purpose. Apply these laws quietly. Let others underestimate you. Let your intelligence remain unseen until it is unavoidable.